So welcome to part 2 of this skating trip through southern Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia. In part 1, I made my way through the streets and alleys of historic Manfua district, which was already a settlement before Islam was even born. And I ended up at the historic heart of Riyadh, Qasr al-Hukm. Now there were many things to see at Qasr al-Hukm, but through a twist of fate I ended up seeing most of those only later that day. And this included Dera Square, also known as Chop Chop Square, and a famous/infamous square with a sobering past. And during the skating efforts in part 1, I learned a few things. These green taxis, they think that I need one, so they keep honking their horns at me, but no, I don't need a taxi. I think that taxi driver hit his horn as well. That's the 100th time today. I don't know why taxi drivers think I need a cab if I'm on wheels already. I don't blame them, but I already got my own set of wheels with me. Not surprisingly, I am drawing an awful lot of attention. Some people just keep staring at me, but that's okay, I'm used to it. Well, point taken, right? On the right hand side, it's okay. I would do the same thing if I was them. Seriously, I mean that. Well, while we're waiting, let's make a 360 here. Picking a Friday, I think, was the right thing to do. The street is very empty, as shown by the fact that I can easily skate on the left hand side of the street. This street is a little bit more alive. Wow. What a change of scenery by just taking a turn. Wow. I think what we're looking at right there is Al-Bata Street. Whoa, it's busy here. What a change of scenery, wow. Happy I did that. Now this reminds me of Cairo, for sure. This does. So I think this is Al-Bata Street. And I guess that sign over there probably says Al-Bata Street. I'll have that translated. Let me give you 360 while I'm being recorded as we speak. Wow, a lot of stores here, little stores. People are enjoying their day off, right? Because it's the day off here, it's Friday. Ooh. The guy said, "Hey, how are you?" And he raised his hand and said, "We're fine, man, thanks." He was smiling. I am very happy I made that turn. Nice. If this would have been my first skate here, I would have continued down the very lively Al-Bata Street. But I've been inline skating 2 days ago, 25 kilometers. Yesterday I did 40 kilometers of biking. I can really feel my legs, big time. Yeah folks, I'm not 20 years old anymore, I'm 50. Anyway, here's a map. I had left the sub-municipality of Al-Bata and was now in the sub-municipality of Al-Malaz. Al-Malaz is a central sub-municipality in the city of Riyadh. The next target was already visible, the Riyadh Water Tower. And in the back, that's also cool, you see skyscrapers. I told you already, the city was expanding north, and you can see that from the skyscrapers in the back in the north, because that's the northern direction. So old Riyadh, new Riyadh. Cool. Well, pragmatic is the way to go. So this is Al-Watan Park, but I think the best shot of the water tower is from outside the park. And the water tower was the tallest structure in the country when it was inaugurated in 1971. It's 61 meters high, and it's very evident by cruising down the city streets that the skyscrapers in the north have vastly surpassed the height of this building. But once it was the tallest structure in the country. Yeah, while editing the video, I discovered there's a rooftop restaurant on top of the water tower. Check it out, there it is. Wow, I could not see that from the position I was at with my inline skates right now. And look at that. It even has a mini amusement park. Look. Yeah, I found this aerial line of Al-Watan Park. So right there is the roller coaster I just pointed out. Right there is the water tower, obviously. So it's a small amusement park. So let's rotate the view a little bit. You can see the water tower again and the Al-Watan Park. And right there is my next target. That tower will immediately be obvious in the next segment. And in the next segment, I'll be skating right here. I think the previous segment likely showed how much I'm being stared at. As I also pointed out in my previous videos, green and trees are a scarce commodity here in the desert city. There's an initiative ongoing called Green Riyadh, really huge project in which the city government wants to put more green in the city. And some of the jobs that they have planned are serious ones. Right there at the top of the Riyadh television tower. And here's a better picture of it. In 1981, it beat the water tower we just saw as Saudi Arabia's largest building. Anyway, I'm finishing up my cute little circling of the park, and now it is time for Al-Murabba Square on the right hand side. I'll move my camera for a while. There's a lot of police here, and you're not supposed to tape government buildings, although there are no government buildings here. I think there are a few things here of interest. The water tower. If I'm not mistaken, that is the National Museum right there. A lot of the people I saw walking are entering that building over there. I think that's a mosque. Curiously, my offline map shows two mosques here, but I only saw one minaret. And indeed, when I googled for Al-Murabba Mosque, I got directed right away to King Abdulaziz Mosque. So I have to assume there's only one mosque here with the full name King Abdulaziz Grand Mosque. I also assume that this is an important mosque in the city, although not the largest, as it stands on historical grounds for reasons that will become clear soon. And it is named after the founder of the current Saudi state. I found a picture of the inside of the mosque, shown over here. And the mosque was built in the 1940s together with the adjacent Al-Murabba Palace, more on that one later. And given that it was Friday, it made actually sense that lots of men were making their way to this mosque for Friday prayers. To me, it was of interest to observe all these events surrounding the Friday prayers, right here in Riyadh. Yeah, so this very shot also shows the considerable security presence right around this square. Right there, I see what appear to be two police cars. Now, I mentioned to you that you're not supposed to tape palaces, but I think that refers to palaces where members of the royal family actually live. And the palace that we're about to visit, as far as I know, is not inhabited by any member of the royal family. So I think it is worthwhile, taping there a little bit. It's a historical site. And I think right next to it, right there with the white ornaments on top, that's where I'm going now. That's definitely a point of interest. That building over there should be Al-Murabba Historical Palace. So after the unification of Saudi Arabia, King Abdulaziz built palaces outside the old city walls. And we were just at that old wall town. And he moved his offices up here in 1938. And that was a first step in the expansion of Riyadh, and it has been expanding ever since. I am not even going to try to get in there by inline skates. It's busy. I think a lot of people are finding their way for the Friday services at the mosque nearby. In 2023, so only a year ago, the Crown Prince announced a new downtown project in the northwest of Riyadh, and he called it the New Murabba.
New Murabba is the new downtown of Riyadh.
And the city has been hugely expanding, and I'm gonna go even more north right now. And this kind of closes up the historic heart tour of the city of Riyadh, capital of Saudi Arabia. We're now gonna go north again. It was very interesting actually. Just going north through this path over here. To see what's out there. Park. Does that say? King Abdulaziz Foundation. I'm not sure if this is still part of the old palace. The pavement is not great here. Oof. I made it to the end already. I think this looks so nice. And it really has this Arabic flavor, you know, this Middle Eastern flavor. 1001 Nights feeling. You get what I mean. Right there. I saw the name. Oh, here. The King Abdulaziz Foundation for Research and Archives. Of course, closed today because of the Friday. That's it. My last official target for today. From here on, it's freebieing. As long as I'm close to the subway station. And I am. Because the blue line is a south-north line. So I'm always in a pretty good distance of the subway station. There is a shout out that has been long overdue. I want to give a shout out to the Saudi Arabian people for their command of English. Communication has not really been an issue. Everybody I talked to knew a little bit of English. Or a lot of English. But that's super. Likewise, I always shout out to the Saudi people for their friendly character. I felt very welcome in the country. So after visiting the Al-Murabba historic site, I am going to turn left here, back onto King Faisal Road. I looked on my map. I just have to follow this road to get to Olaya Street. And more on the significance of Olaya when we get there. Yeah, so as we're making our way in the same direction that the city expanded, you can see the surroundings change, right? High rises pop up. No more of those more, let's say, authentic, more densely populated areas. Cool. The mosque is emptying just as I'm about to cross. Let's see. The timing. There you go. Here's the minaret. Oh yeah, just in time. Wow. Thank you. Wow. Better be careful with these guys over here. It can easily hold an inline skating wheel and cause you a lot of trouble. When I inspected the metro map up front, back home in Amsterdam, there was a metro station with an interesting name, and it is right here, the Passport Department Station. So apparently there is some kind of government office here doing the passports, I guess. And here, people, we have the metro station called after the place we just visited, the Al-Murabba station. I told you I was inline skating parallel to a subway line. Again, not by accident. So yeah, that's over here. The metro is so new that several stations are still closed. 3 stations on the way to my starting point were closed. We just passed them. That's how new this metro system is. Only a few weeks old. It's pretty cool. All flashy and shiny. Also, for now, a little bit empty. Also, locals really like the concept. They're making pictures. There's a lot of staff at hand helping out people, finding their way. Pretty cool. Especially for me, since loyal viewers know that I'm a lover of public transportation systems. I waited with booking my ticket over here until it was confirmed that the metro lines would open. Olaya Street. Olaya is one of the sub-municipalities and it's the commercial hub of the city. A lot of the skyscrapers are in this sub-municipality. Now this is a tunnel. I'm not going to take a tunnel. I know my limits. Let's see. Easy. There's a pedestrian crossing. And I'll just go up again over there. Yeah, right there. That interesting looking building is the Ministry of Interior, by the way. And here's a better picture of it. And in fact, this intersection right here is a symbolic one. In front of me, from right to left, is a road called King Saud Road that I need to cross to make it to Olaya Street. I'm at the last meters of King Faisal Road, the street which has been my artery since leaving Qasr al-Hukm at the start of this video. And across the intersection, Olaya Street starts. And indeed, according to Google Maps, I am currently at the border of Al-Malaz and Al-Olaya sub-municipalities. Al-Olaya will be my 3rd municipality for today, after Al-Bata, part 1 of this trip, and Al-Malaz, this video. So it's time for a new video, part 3, where I will move north toward more recent Saudi history in Al-Olaya, the direction of the city expansion. Now, an interesting event that unfolded at this very location where I'm at right now, I will leave that to part 3. Now, stay tuned for the next video to see what happened there. I'll give you a little bit of a preview right here. It looks a little bit like this. You can see already that there was some level of, how do I say this, improvisation needed. I will also bike in Riyadh. Watch me battle difficult junctions as I make my way through the posher parts of Riyadh. Look at me smoothly crossing over here, simply demanding my space. I had to. The junctions here were no joke. And deep in the neighborhoods of this desert city, I would find small parks with green, a rarity here and there in a desert city, of course, and people enjoying their time off. It was really nice. So in the meantime, I'm also still working on my videos on Buenos Aires, the capital city of the country of Argentina, in the continent of South America. Completely different spot on this planet, completely different city compared to Riyadh, but that's what I love, right? All these different cities, all these different flavors. So stay tuned and subscribe if you like this kind of urban exploration on wheels.